and Mike Evans, who would be the first Tampa Bay Buccaneer offensive player to get into the Hall, joining Leroy Selman, Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks, John Lynch, and Ronnie Barber. But now 2 future Hall of Famers on the offensive side in Mike Evans and Tristan Wirfs.
He's on a trajectory for greatness. Tristan Wirfs, all-pro left tackle, and how we found out today, and the Buccaneers put out the social media.
That was so cool.
That was great. So tell everybody how that happened.
Yeah, so he's sitting there with the AP writer, and the AP writer is kind of talking about his career, et cetera. And right before he was going to spill the beans, right on cue, his girlfriend Meredith and their son walked out right behind Tristan and surprised him. And on his little baby boy's T-shirt, it says, "My daddy is first team All-Pro." It was such a cool moment, the way they surprised him. And, the great thing is he's one of those guys that's like Mike Evans, so easy to root for, just an absolute blessing to the Tampa Bay area, to this team, to the city of Tampa. And, you love to see good people have success, right, and get rewarded for being not just a great player, but a great person. And that's exactly what Tristan is. It's for Tampa Bay to have so many good guys in this team: Levante David, Tristan Wirfs, Mike Evans, Bucky Irving, Baker Mayfield. The list goes on and on. It's just it's a testament to Todd Bowles, the head coach, and Jason Light, the general manager, for really building this team the right way.
Wrapping it up here with Scott Reynolds, PewterReport.com. The Bucs do have a decided advantage with their run game. Washington was 30th in the NFL against the run, so we can expect a really physical football game, right, on Sunday night?
Yeah, I think so, and I wouldn't be surprised if Liam Cohen comes out a little bit and maybe takes advantage of some loaded boxes and tries to use the pass to set up the run. The one thing that I love about Liam Cohen, aside from all the points, right? I mean, you can pretty much pencil this team in for 30 points per game, it seems. But how many times, TKras, did we watch a Byron Leftwich offense and we knew what was coming? It's a wide receiver screen to Chris Godwin, right? Or it's a run here on first down. And Dave Canales the same way, right? Double tight ends coming in on 3rd and short. It's going to be a run with Rachaad White. I have yet to, whether I'm sitting at home watching these games for the away games or in the press box at Ray J, I don't know what's coming. I have no idea if it's going to be a run or pass, who's getting the ball. He is the most unpredictable play caller in my 30 years of doing this than I can remember. And, I'm not a defensive coordinator, right? But if I don't know, if the fans don't know, we've seen enough to where defensive coordinators and defenses don't know because they get fooled and tricked, into first downs and touchdowns. And I think that is his best attribute. The playbook is so deep. The answers to all of the questions are there. And between the rapport that he has with Baker Mayfield, they find those answers. And it's just the lack of predictability that I think sets him apart from any play caller I've seen in Tampa, and that's why he's one of the most successful play callers around the league, and that's why he's going to be in demand for some head coaching positions. Hopefully, the Bucs can convince him to stay. Maybe the Blazers have to pony up and make him the highest-paid offensive coordinator, and head coach in waiting to make that happen. But they got to do whatever it takes because he truly is absolutely special as a play caller. I think he's literally in the next Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan mold.
And he's from that Sean McVay coaching tree. All right, 30 seconds left, Scotty. I'll put you on the spot. Bucs and Commanders, who wins and why?
Well, I think the Tampa Bay is going to win. I think the Commanders might have some success. We've seen Tampa Bay actually come from behind with some halftime deficits. We saw that last week. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens, but I like what Todd Bowles does in the second half. Liam Cohen, too. I think Tampa Bay wins this one 31-26. It's going to be a similar game to how it was last time in week one. Remember, their kicker, York, missed 3 field goals in that game. So that 37-20 score probably should have been a little bit closer if not for those missed field goals. They got a better kicker now, but I still think it's too much offense and the right amount of defense for Tampa Bay, and I like them to advance to the divisional round.
Sounds good to me. Scott Reynolds, PewterReport.com. You can read him there. Great job, Scotty. Enjoy the game this weekend. Thank you, my friend.
Always a pleasure. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
You do as well. Scott Reynolds, good stuff there. Great stuff by Scotty, talking about, the Buccaneers and some things that maybe Jaden Daniels will see from Todd Bowles that maybe he didn't see the first time around. And there's no question. I mean, you're going to see Todd bring a whole bunch of guys up front to the line of scrimmage, 6 guys perhaps, showing different blitz looks and pressure packages. And Jaden Daniels is going to have to figure out, okay, who's coming? Who's not coming? And if you set your protections, incorrectly, then that means somebody else is going to be coming off the edge, perhaps, or right up the middle, unblocked. And that's how you get your quarterback massacred. So this will be a really interesting cat and mouse game. And these are the 2 best quarterbacks in the NFL against the blitz. You're talking about Baker Mayfield and Jaden Daniels. So tremendous. It's going to be, which guy makes the biggest play against the blitz, because the blitz is going to be happening. Now, whether or not Todd throws a whole bunch of blitzes at Jaden Daniels like he did his first meeting remains to be seen. Now, he's getting healthier on the back end, so maybe Todd Bowles doesn't blitz as much. And look, it's always like a heavyweight title fight, because you go into this game and you're trying to feel out the other guy, the other opponent. And sometimes you get things and you see things that you didn't think you were going to get or that you weren't prepared for. And that's something that Todd Bowles has to do better, because in the first half of a lot of these games that we've seen, especially over the last 5 or 6 weeks, the Buccaneers haven't fared so well. But what they have done a great job in is those halftime adjustments. And then in the second half, the Bucs have played far better defense, and the numbers show it. 9 points combined have been scored in the second half against the Buccaneers' last 5 games combined. 9 points, that's it, in the second half of the last 5 games. That's very good. That means you're doing something right, you're making the proper adjustments, and you're closing teams out when needed. And that's why the Buccaneers are in this position. And I think on Sunday night, it'll be fascinating to see how the Commanders come out offensively, what the Buccaneers have in store for them, and vice versa. But this game's going to be won in the trenches. I think this is where the Buccaneers have the advantage. Their O-line is a top 3 O-line. Their running game is a top 5 running game in the league. And Washington is number 30 in the NFL out of 32 teams in stopping the run. That's an advantage for the Buccaneers. Plus, the Bucs stop the run about as well as anybody. Better than anybody, in fact, since Week 12. Football Friday here on DAE, presented by Wesley Chapel Lexus, home of the exclusive Lexus Lifetime Plan. When you think Lexus, think Wesley Chapel Lexus, the largest Lexus dealer on Florida's West Coast. Hit them up online, wesleychapellexus.com. All right, more of your calls coming up. We're all excited about the Bucs and the Commanders on Sunday night. Your thoughts as well, 888-546-4620. Some texts are rolling in at 82945. We'll get to your calls and texts. On the way back on this Football Friday, there's a big college game tonight, and we'll find out who will oppose Notre Dame in the national championship game. Wild card weekend, some really good games coming up this weekend. Who you got? Who should be on upset alert? On your ride home on a football Friday. Yes, sir. It is time for Pigskin Pick'em. So many games starting tonight with the college football semifinal and then this weekend on Wild Card Weekend in the NFL. And here to help me out is my good friend, Chris Mathis.
All right, Tom and Tampa Bay. You talk about the college football game on tonight. Number 8, Ohio State.
Game, pretty boy.
We'll hope it's a pretty game and an exciting one here for you guys. Heard right here on WDAE with the coverage starting at 7 following the drive. But number 8, Ohio State takes on number 5, Texas, where the Buckeyes are 6-point favorites. The over-under is 52 there against Texas.
I'm looking forward to this game tonight. It's the Cotton Bowl, and look, Texas is getting 6. I'm going to take the Longhorns plus the 6 points. And look, I know Ohio State's been dominant. Everyone is foaming at the mouth over Jeremiah Smith, this incredible freshman sensation, who's burning everybody. And he's not even eligible for the draft for another 2 years. Ryan Day, I'm just not sure if his team can come up big 3 games in a row. So I think from a coaching perspective, I think Sark would get the edge over Ryan Day. And I think Quinn Ewers, is kind of underrated. I think he's got a quick release. I think he's accurate. I think he did a great job in coming back in the overtime win over Arizona State. I'm going to take Texas tonight plus the 6 points. This could be an upset.
Now, good news for Ryan Day. The game officially kicks off tonight, not during the day. Maybe that'll help out Ryan Day, or who knows. But moving on now to NFL games tomorrow. Got to throw in a dad joke here and there. The Chargers take on the Houston Texans there in Houston, where Houston is a 2.5-point underdog to the Chargers. The over-under is 41.5.
They are. Now, they're home. They haven't played well, certainly offensively, and that's where I'm concerned with the Texans, because their offensive line is allowing C.J. Stroud to get hit. And I've watched C.J. Stroud a couple of times. He has not been accurate. He has not been as good as he was from a year ago in his rookie season, so a little bit of a sophomore slump. He has thrown 12 interceptions. So I just don't think the Texans are playing their best football heading into the postseason. Meanwhile, after they got thumped by the Bucs, remember, the Chargers had 40 points laid on them by the Buccaneers in the middle of December. Since then, they've won 3 in a row, including an impressive win against Denver the very next week. So I think Jim Harbaugh will have that team ready, and I think defensively they'll get after C.J. Stroud. I'm going to take the Chargers in this game, and I will lay the points.
Speaking of a team that's not playing their best ball as they get set for the playoffs, the Pittsburgh Steelers have cooled off mightily as they head in and kind of, trickle their way into the playoff as they'll take on the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. Lamar Jackson looking for his third MVP?
Yes.
Yeah.
This would be his third one.
Sounds crazy. Still hasn't won a Super Bowl yet. But anyway, Baltimore a 9.5-point favorite at home over Pittsburgh.
Now, not having Zay Flowers is going to hurt Baltimore. He's their most explosive receiver. But last time I checked, they still had Rashad Bateman, who has had a really good year for them. They also have Mark Andrews, who is really back to being, a tone setter. They've got Isaiah Likely. They've got a really good O-line. They got Derrick Henry. They got Lamar Jackson. So I think they have plenty of weapons. I think where Baltimore has an edge is defensively, because defensively they're playing some of their best ball of the season. And Pittsburgh's offense, in their 4-game losing streak to close out the regular season, they're averaging only about 13 points per game offensively. That's not going to cut it against Lamar Jackson and that high-scoring offense. Even without Zay Flowers, I'm taking the Ravens in this game, and I will give the points. I just don't think Pittsburgh can score enough points.
Josh Allen and the Bills will wait for Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos to come to town Sunday afternoon, 1 o'clock kickoff, as Buffalo a 9-point favorite in this one, Tom.
I am so tempted to take Denver and the 9 points. I think that is a big number. I think Sean Payton is a terrific coach. And Bo Nix has been fantastic with their backs against the wall last week against a Kansas City team that played nobody. They beat them and beat them badly, 38-0. But I think Buffalo's got something in store for them. I do. And Josh Allen is an MVP candidate. He's had an incredible year, certainly. He doesn't make very many mistakes. He's only thrown 6 interceptions the entire season. I think his ability to run it, to pass it, the running back has done an incredible job with 1,000. James Cook, over 1,000 yards, 16 rushing touchdowns. So I think between the RPO game and Josh Allen finding open receivers, you look, Patrick Surtain can only take out one person, but who's that going to be? Is it going to be Amari Cooper? Then Khalil Shakir breaks loose, and then Dalton Kincaid breaks loose. So I just think that there are too many weapons for Denver to account for. I'm going to take the Bills, and I will give the points.
The Battle of the Green will get underway at 4:30 on Sundays. We've got the Green Bay Packers squaring off with the Philadelphia Eagles in Philly. And Philly is a 5-point favorite. Looks as if, Jalen Hurts has been cleared to play from concussion protocol.
He has been cleared, so he'll be back. He hasn't played in a couple of weeks, so that should be something to watch for. A.J. Brown is going to play as well, but he's had this nagging knee injury for a few weeks. So that's something that also bears watching. I kind of like Green Bay in this game to keep it close. And I just think from a coaching perspective, I like Matt LaFleur. His one-loss record is incredible. Nick Sirianni's a guy that's been blessed with a lot of talent, but there are some things he does that I just take exception to. So I think Green Bay's got the coaching edge. I just need to know what faction or version of Jordan Love we're going to get on Sunday. I know his elbow's bothering him a little bit. He's not going to have Christian Watson, but Jayden Reed, that's a guy that the Packers must get involved. They've got good tight ends. They got Jayden Reed. They got Romeo Doubs. They got Dontavian Wicks. They have to spread the ball around. They're going to rely on Josh Jacobs with his 15 rushing touchdowns during the regular season. Work play action off that. I think the Packers can stay in this game. And if Jordan Love doesn't turn the ball over, I think they're going to beat the Eagles. So I'm going to take the Packers plus the points.
Now, do you want to hit on the Bucs game here against the Commanders, or do you want to wait for our next segment and give that prediction itself?
We'll go in the next segment.
All right, let's go with Minnesota and the Rams as the Vikings will take on the Rams. The Rams, the home team, alleged home team, right? It's not really at their home stadium. They're 2.5-point underdog to the Vikings.
Look, I know the Vikings won 14 games, but I'm just wondering if psychologically Sam Darnold wasn't shaken last week by what happened at the hands of that Lions defense and Aaron Glenn, who was fantastic on the defensive side, doing his thing against Sam Darnold. It was a masterclass by Aaron Glenn. It really was last week. So with that being said, I'm again, from a coaching perspective, and Kevin O'Connell's really good. He's going to go up against his mentor, Sean McVay. O'Connell is another member of that Sean McVay coaching tree, which just spits out these head coaching candidates left and right. And Liam Cohen is one of them, and he'll probably be the next guy in line to get a head coaching job from the Sean McVay coaching tree. I think I'm going to ride with the Rams on this one. I think defensively, I'm not sure if that O-line of Minnesota is going to be able to hold up. Jared Verse has had a great rookie year. Between he and Braden Fisk and the other young players along that defensive front of the Rams, I think they're going to put a lot of pressure on Sam Darnold. When Darnold sits back there, he has a tendency to hold on to the ball for way too long, and that's where mistakes happen. So I'm going to take the Rams in this game. I think they beat the Vikings.
And that's Pigskin Pick'em here ahead of tonight's college football game and this weekend's NFL playoff matchups. If you want to go back and listen, it will be podcasted on the free iHeartRadio app. Search up The Drive.
I love it. Plus, you can download commercial-free podcasts of this hideous show through the new and improved iHeartRadio app, which is great. Also online, 953WDA.com. You click on The Drive. Our podcast will be right there. Any segment you may have missed. Scott Reynolds earlier today. Ronnie Lane back in the saddle for Friday happy hours at 5 o'clock. We started that today. Always great to see Ronnie. And, really good reaction from the text platform for the most part. And, some of you knuckleheads with some interesting remarks. It's fine. But it was good to have Ronnie back in the house. And it was a lot of fun today. We did mailbag as well. On the Bartow 4DA text platform, I was professing my love for Publix earlier this hour. Gosh, their soup is good. Soup, Jerry, eats like a meal. Banya. I think I'll just have some soup. I'll save my meal for next time. What do you mean next time? There is no next time. This is the meal. The soup counts. And let me tell you, some of these soups, these are soups that even Kenny Banya would be going gaga over. Because a lot of these soups do eat like a meal. The chicken pot pie soup is to die for. I love it. And then I tried the lasagna soup with the turkey sausage. Great. New England clam chowder is pretty good. The broccoli and cheese is pretty good. I'm telling you, man, I got to stay out of Publix. I'm in there all the time. They know me, like Norm from Cheers. I walk in, Tom!
Now you're making me hungry.
They're taking all of my money, Chris Mathis.
I see it every day. I see you walk in and you load it up with some goods from over there, some lunch, fresh sandwiches, soups, the whole nine.
Their parfaits are great.
Yeah, I saw you've had a couple of those this week.
I'm trying to eat healthier this week, and Ronnie said, and, he was right. Quit time, like the first Friday or the second Friday. Did you say the second Friday of January? Where people, they lay out all their New Year's resolutions and all of a sudden they just quit.
Today is National Quitters Day. Today's the official day.
Yes.
Today's the day.
January 10th, so it's the second Friday. So it lasts about a week, and then people all of a sudden they give up.
I'm not leaving the show. I'm staying right here.
I'm not leaving either.
Yeah, I didn't think you were.
I'm not going anywhere.
I'm not leaving.
I'm not leaving. I'm not going to abandon. And it's not a New Year's resolution. It's kind of like a vow to myself, I suppose. And everyone has it, like, Halloween candy. And then there's Thanksgiving. Then my birthday. And then Christmas. And then New Year's. I mean, there's all kinds of food and cookies and cake and everything else. And pizza and here and turkey and stuffing. Mashed potatoes, macaroni cheese. Now, I'm fortunate, I'm still, a slimmer guy. And I went out for a jog this morning. So, back in the saddle with that as well. But, the older you get, man, the more focused, the more driven, the more assertive you need to be in terms of taking care of yourself. Like when you get into your 30s, 40s, even into your 50s. It's harder. And it's going to take more of a commitment from you in order to put the best version of you out there. That's what I'm choosing to do. Hopefully you guys will follow suit. Some of you out there, you need to be the best versions of yourself in between your ears, from the neck up. Because from what I'm seeing on a text platform, a lot of you need a checkup from the neck up. On the text platform from the 786, TKras, are you taking the over or the under? 9 points scored by the Washington Commanders in the second half. That is an excellent question, sir or madam. And when we come back, final thoughts, the final drive, my official game prediction, Buccaneers and Commanders, is coming your way next here on The Drive.
You're tuned in to The Drive with TKras.
Guys, the new year is here, so you can kick off 2025 by impressing your better half with a timeless diamond from Steve and Julie Weintraub, my good friends over at the Golden Diamond Source. And if you're ready to pop the big question, you can find the perfect engagement ring at the Golden Diamond Source. That's exactly what Chris Mathis did. He got his engagement ring at the Golden Diamond Source, and last month, he got down on one knee. He did the gentlemanly thing. He proposed to Lily, and she said, yes, I saw that ring, and it is wonderful. I will marry you. I can't do Lily. So it wants something like that. But that's what Chris Mathis did. You need to follow suit as well. Make her January birthday, by the way, if she's got a birthday this month, or if you have your second or your sixth wedding anniversaries this month, Make it unforgettable with up to 15% off Garnet. That's the January birthstone only at the Golden Diamond Source. And while you're there, discover the Emily Collection by Emily Johnson Weintraub, a sleek and modern jewelry line that makes everyday gifts extraordinary. You can also turn old unused gold into cash or a stunning new piece. With gold prices soaring, there's no better time to trade up than right now at the Golden Diamond Source. So check them out, 3800 Omerton Road in Clear.
Available. Visit your local Verizon store or VerizonFanFest.com for details. Must be 18 years or older or accompanied by a parent or legal guardian to attend. Terms apply.
The final drive.
Well, this is it. The Buccaneers are in the playoffs for the 5th straight year, and they will host a playoff game for the 3rd consecutive year on Wild Card Weekend. I know it's a primetime game. I had some qualms about that, but as the week wore on, I became more and more optimistic. The Buccaneers are going to be healthier, about as healthy as they're going to be at any point this entire season. Antoine Winfield Jr. will be back. So will Jamel Dean. Kate Otten has a chance to play. And I think the Buccaneers have an edge with their offensive and defensive lines. They'll be able to run the ball against Washington. They can stop the run. And I think they're going to limit the big plays of Jaden Daniels to the point where they are going to come out victorious. Baker Mayfield comes up big. So does Bucky Irving. I'm going to take the Buccaneers. They'll win a shootout on Sunday night. Final score, Buccaneers 31, Commanders 24.
The final drive.
I want to thank Scott Reynolds, Ronnie Lane for their participation. It was an awesome show. Great job, Chris Mathis. I'm on the